Enugu-Onitsha Expressway. Recall that the incident had happened at about 11:30 a.m. on the 25th of January, when a fuel-laden tanker had a brake failure and fell and exploded. 11 road users were burnt to death before emergency responders arrived at the scene. Reports say that the FRSC officers evacuated the deceased after officials of the Enugu State Fire Service put off the fire, while the injured were taken to hospitals within the Enugu state for treatment. The death toll rose to 18 a day after the incident and 21 after 4 days and now 23. On the national scene, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, on Wednesday urged Nigerians to be patient with the government amid the current economic hardship. Wike said the President Bola Tinubu's policies were designed to improve the country's economic situation. Still in the news, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Dr. Abdullah Ganduje, on Wednesday welcomed the senator representing Delta State North Senatorial District, Ned Nwoko, following his defection from the opposition's People's Democratic Party. Nwoko, who officially switched allegiance to the APC, hinged his exit on the current crisis rocking the PDP leadership. A federal judge on Wednesday blocked the enforcement of former President Donald Trump's executive order aimed at restricting birthright citizenship in the United States. The ruling indefinitely halts one of Trump's most contentious policies, which was set to take effect nationwide by February 19th. And now in business news, the dollar to naira black market rate for today is buying at 1,590 naira and it's selling for 1,610 naira. The dollar to naira CBN rate for today is buying at 1,496 naira and it's selling at 1,497 naira. Still in the news, residents of the Federal Capital Territory have been left stranded and grappling with fuel shortages following the sudden closure of several retail outlets owned by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation within the capital city. It was gathered that the station had closed for some days and were allegedly ordered by the management of the national oil firm and will continue up until next week. The Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative has disclosed that as of August 2024, operators in the oil and gas sector were collectively indebted to the federal government with outdebted liabilities totaling $6.1 billion. It noted that the outstanding liabilities were made out of outstanding royalties, taxes, rents, and other collectible revenues due to be collected into government coffers. The agency also advised the government to recover the outstanding liabilities in the oil and gas industry to finance the 2025 national budget. And now in sports, the Manchester United defender Tyrell Malaysia has joined PSV on loan for the rest of the season. The Netherlands international, born 25, has been rebuilding his fitness after returning to action in November following a 17-month layoff with injury troubles. And lastly, former Super Eagles defender Taye Taiwo has been inducted into Olympique Marseille Club of Legends. Taiwo, regarded as one of Nigeria's greatest left-backs, earned 54 caps for the Super Eagles between 2004 and 2011, scoring 5 goals. And that is the news. Thank you for joining us. I am Mavis Atodume.
FM.
Good morning and welcome to High Voltage. It's another beautiful Thursday morning, the 6th day of February 2025. And I hope you have begun to make really productive use of your day, up and ready and go and get whatever you need to get done already. Don't waste any time. I hope that your mind is also in the right place to be able to carry out your activities in a way that is, is suitable to both God and, of course, to yourself and to your neighbors. All right. Remember to stay safe, and to look out for yourselves, and of course, mind your business as well. All right. Welcome to today's edition of the newspaper reviews and analysis. I am Mavis Atudume. We will move straight to the newspapers this morning. I think I reminded you about the USID and all the revelations that David Hunday made over the weekend about the USAID and all the funds that we've been receiving. Turns out things are not the way they seem. A lot has been happening. And of course, the fingering of former President Barack Obama and his connection with so many things that went wrong between 2014 and 2015. If you are out there in the spaces watching out, you would realize that the world has indeed been playing charades since you were born, and that most things are not the way they seem to be. President Obama has been allegedly involved in so many things. All right, it's too many of them, but we will get to see more of these foreign international depth when we get to the investigated stories. But back home, a bunch of things have been happening as well. The president left for France last night on his private jet. We don't know why he has to go, but he has to go, right? And that private jet doesn't necessarily make it around Nigeria. It's only for international trips, apparently. But we don't know. But there's a lot going on. Ned Nwoko's defection from PDP to APC, its implications. People are making all kinds of comments and trying to see if it makes sense. And Ganduje is also making warnings to Anambra State considering the November elections, and telling them not to cause some problems within the APC in Anambra State because of the elections that are to happen in Anambra State later on in the year. And don't forget that APC has announced their governorship ticket for Anambra State. It's for 50 million naira. If you are interested, well, there you have it. So, but don't say that I told you. I mean, let's hear from the horse's mouth, right? Now we're live on YouTube. You can join me this morning. I think someone mentioned that I hadn't brought any analysts. No, we're checking out some things. We want to see what you prefer. We want to know what works best. All right, we're checking a bunch of things out, and we're trying to get more people to join our crew. Right. So this morning, join us live on YouTube at High Voltage News. I please encourage you to like, subscribe, and share. You would find that that page is quite important to what you know about topical information, local and international. All right, you can also call live into the studio to join me this morning, 0706 048 5853. You can also call 0915 570-8347 to be a part of the program this morning. Right, let's go to the Punch newspaper. The first thing on the Punch this morning is 54 trillion naira budget. Experts divided over raise. Federal government adds 4.5 trillion naira agricultural infrastructure funds. All right. This budget has gotten more padding than I wouldn't say, but it's been padded left, right, and center, and everybody's wondering what's going on. But at this point, aren't Nigerians tired already? Now, Wike has been in the news telling Nigerians to give APC more time because President Tinubu's policies are definitely for the betterment of Nigerians. And we're 2 years in almost. And that doesn't really seem to be true. And I'm wondering, how does it work? What you're saying and what we're seeing are not corresponding. The calculation doesn't calculate. It's not coming together. If we try to put it together, it's not really coming together. So I'm trying to understand what the end goal is. I really am curious. I wish the elites, all these people who are telling us to calm down, all these people who are telling us to relax, this policy is going to bite, it's going to choke, it's going to hurt, but it's going to work. I wish they had more details, because what we have on ground, the policies we're seeing would drive us into further poverty. So I wish they would make further explanations of how these policies that are not obviously advantageous now, how they are going to work in the future. Because we are in more debt than we've ever been in. So I'm trying to understand what part is going to better us. We've borrowed more than ever. And we're poorer more than ever. We're more hungry more than ever. And it just seems it's just individuals who are actually better. Individuals are getting their rents paid. Government officials who earn 300% of all that they are worth, they earn it in 300%. Now the state has to pay their rents. The state is renovating their homes and doing all of these nice things for them, and creating luxury for them. Power has a level of luxury to it, but aren't we taking it probably a little too far around here, considering our immediate environment? Some of the cars in some of your car garages cannot drive on the roads here. You just put them there. You just leave them in you just want to see the cars. You don't necessarily, you can't use them. You can't drive that vehicle in your neighborhood. You can't take that vehicle home to your village because So what's the point, really, in the greed? It's obviously greed. Some of the things that some of you own, you really can't use them around here because they are useless here. You cannot. You can't. Anyways, Dangote Refinery, FCCPC defers as NNPCL insists on fuel import. Some people mentioned earlier that the NNPCL might be our actual problem, but from the look, I don't know. But the NNPCL also shut down all of their retail stations in Abuja, and of course, leaving customers stranded and all of that. But what's the plan? You remember that Dangote on Monday reduced the price of petroleum for his marketers, for people who would retail for him. Reduced it to 890, 895. So is this a counter reaction from the NNPCL? What is this supposed to do? Because if you shut down, the other guy gets more, because he's going to get more sales. So what's the arrangement? Except they are shutting down to come back with maybe 750 or maybe 700 naira. Now we're talking, right? But that's NNPCL for you. They've shut down all their retail outlets in Abuja, and they said it will continue until next week. No explanation has been given anyways. But why do you think that is? Why are these things happening? Why is everybody playing their own game? Strictly playing their own game. Is anybody really in charge? Is someone really in control? Or can anybody really do anything they want? And truly, if anybody can do what they want in this country, what does that mean for all of us? What is the implication of such mindset? Right? We can all do what we want because, okay, if that's where we're going with it, I would think that some of these people have people who they actually have to report these things. So does it mean that the people who are in charge don't know their jobs or they are incompetent? What's the problem? Why can't we get result? Why can't we get standard? People are paid to do these things handsomely. You people are paid more than most people who do your jobs elsewhere in this world. You're paid better than most politicians in the world. So I'm trying to put... Anyways, let's continue to look at the news this morning. PDP Secretary, Wike's camp, kick as BOT backs governors. All right. Nigeria's security remains a priority says President Tinubu. All right, protesters raise building linked to oust Bangladesh leader. Zulum leads delegation to repatriate 7,790 refugees from Chad. Okay, doesn't sound so bad considering what is going on around there in the north. We thought you'd put more seriousness into the security in the north, trying to protect these borders, protect the people in the north. Questions have been asked all over the internet why there are more checkpoints and military saturation in the east, why there is serious terrorist situation in the north with numbers to prove it. And people are wondering why all the militia is here whereas they're supposed to be in the north where things are quite hotter. That's something that should be considered. All right, something important in Tunisia. The Tunisian president have sacked their finance minister. All right, something like things like that don't necessarily happen around here. So that's about that. The FRSC recovers 73 stolen vehicles in 2024. Okay. All right, Tinubu demands school safety as fire kills 17 pupils in Zamfara Islamic School. All right, let's continue to review the news. That's as much as we can take from the Daily Post this morning. Let's go to the Daily Post. All right, we read the Punch. Let's go to the Daily Post now. Chopper ferried South Koreans illegally mining gold and instigate banditry in Nigeria, says analyst. The USAID documents say even more, right? Edo State suspends Attorney General and local government commission chair. All right, let's continue to look at these. Dakuku Peterside kicks against resumption of oil exploration in Ogoni land. Too many people are screaming. Hilda Dokubo has also been lending her voice to the situation in Ogoni. They said the situation there is quite terrible. And the government have said that they've made a settlement of almost $300 billion. And Hilda Dokubo was calling the people who had received the money to come and at least prove that the money was released. I mean, it's a whole lot going on in this country, right? Well, let's continue to review what's happening in the news this morning. The U.S. government no longer pay fees for vessels transiting through Panama Canal. All right, that's on international news. You can catch up on the national dailies and you can catch up on high voltage news on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and then share. All right, moving on. I was never involved in fraud and I will prove my innocence, says the suspended Edo AG. Right? Okay, so Nasarawa State, Governor Sule disbands 2 traditional rulers over resource control clash. Abia State Assembly is sad over the killing of a man in a boundary clash. And of course, the mayhem in Ebonyi continues because as at this morning, fresh reports have been given that there has been fresh attacks in communities in Ebonyi again. All right, again. So it's like the ones that happened, nobody is listening. And I mentioned to you that Governor Francis Nwifuru had advised the people in Ebonyi not to retaliate. Right. So this is a question. If there is nobody to protect you, are you going to sit down and watch people take your family, harm your people, take your, how do you do this? It's really difficult. Some of the things we ask Nigerians to endure. This is unheard of. This is unheard of. Please, someone should please do something real quickly. It's unbecoming that we're not safe in our own homes, in our own communities, in our own villages. People are invading people's homes and slaughtering them. This is not okay. Governor Francis Nwifuru, if you're going to tell the people not to retaliate, if you're going to tell the people not to protect themselves, then I'm assuming that some heavy intervention is on ground. But for us to get reports of fresh attacks, No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Immediate, quick, fast intervention is required. All right, let's continue to review the Daily Post this morning. All right, these clashes and these attacks cannot continue. We can't normalize this. We can't normalize this. We cannot normalize this. Kano State making agreements with terrorists. No, we cannot. We can't normalize these things. They are not okay. Nobody negotiates with terrorists in their land. Nobody does that. But here we are rehabilitating them. We're negotiating. We're paying ransoms. The government is paying ransom. Is it okay? Is it normal? Is it okay? Does it happen other places? Is this how power operates? We're rehabilitating Boko Haram members. This happened in this country. There was no outrage. Everybody went to bed. We rehabilitated them, provided funds to set them up. What sort of language is that? Who does that? Where have you ever heard that? Why don't we go to the prisons and then rehabilitate all the criminals in there and send them back into the communities? Why were we rehabilitating terrorists and bandits? Why did we do that? Was that safe? Was that intelligent? What was the benefit of such move? A nation that is obviously struggling with set terrorist attacks and terrorism, and you rehabilitate them back into the society, and you make a party, and there are documents and media to prove what I'm telling you. We had canopies and uniforms made for these people, and we said we're going to give them a certain amount of money to start life again and give them skill acquisition. Why are we not giving that treatment to all the criminals in this country then? If it is logical, if it is the right thing to do, why don't we do that for the rest of them? There are a lot of questions that we were supposed to ask ourselves as a nation. There's also lots of things we naturally should look inwards to see if they actually make sense. This is not morality or anything. That's just natural common sense. Does it make common sense? I think that's the question we should be asking. Well, still on the insecurity, inadequate security is responsible for the fight at PDP security, says Wabara. Okay. All right. El Rufai is drowning and seeking to drag Nuhu Ribadu with him, says Renu Omokri. Now, all of these actions are to, almost distractions, because at the end of the day, when the elites win, everybody normalizes. It's easier for them to switch parties because in truth, in honesty, there is no problems between them. They don't have any issues amongst themselves. It's all business. Everybody understands it. But the people get to bear the consequence of these dramas, of these charades that are being put out in your face. Because at the end of the day, we are going to see these individuals communing together, intermarrying, marrying each other's children, having a good time, and giving us the media to question ourselves and our intelligence, if we would, about why we made our decisions. They are cooking Aisha Yusufu on the internet. Since yesterday, they've been cooking her. The Gen Zs will say they've been dragging her like a tiger generator for her involvement in the presidency and the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari. Like I told you, the USID expose by David Hunde has a lot of people in the crosshairs. And for the first time, social media is paying former President Goodluck Jonathan a little bit of sympathy and remembering the roles everybody played in 2015, and it's nasty battle on the internet. And Aisha Yusufu has been called out by different Nigerians in the role she played and the role she's still playing in politics. So you see, Turns out there is always an agenda somewhere. There is always some agenda somewhere, somehow, you know, that needs to be attended to. So all of these are revelations for the electorate. Pay attention to what's happening. Keep your ears to the ground. Stop waving everything away. You waved your hands away so much. Now dollar is where it is. Petroleum price is where it is. Everything is exactly where it is because we kept waving everything away and laughing everything away and comedying everything away. You probably need to reduce the laughter and probably pay attention more. Because, like I said, Anambra State is going to make that big decision sometime later on this year. I hope that they have better expectations of themselves this time around. It's not just anything. Nigerians are better than anything, anybody, just anybody. You know? People make arguments how Nigeria needs someone who is tough, someone who is not good. You know, references were made to when former President Jonathan was called weak because he probably wouldn't do or involve in certain things. Peter Obi has also been accused of being weak because he probably wouldn't do certain things. So again, what is our standard of goodness and what's bad around here? Does that morality check only end when one has a certain level of power and money, and then it doesn't matter if they are good or not? Now we say we need people with a certain kind of toughness. We need criminals to run our country, and we believe that to be intelligent. And this is an ideology coming from a country with the highest number of professors in the world. Did you know that? We do. We actually do. We actually do. Do you know how many young people, intelligent, powerfully intelligent people here? And the moment we leave this place and we have a space somewhere else, we flourish so amazingly. One wonders why all that intelligence doesn't work here. It's amazing, right? Anyways, let's continue. The Daily Post is quite interesting this morning. Udo Koye can be National Secretary. Anyanwu replies PDP, but PDP continues to struggle in-house, and APC is waxing strong. Allow Governor Sani to restore peace in Kaduna, Forum tells El Rufai. PDP BOT snubs Iwayan, affirms Udo Koye as National Secretary. When will the PDP ever agree? When will you agree? All right, let's continue, because I worry about the PDP. Who else is going to oppose the APC if the PDP can't get their acts together? The Labour Party obviously is not willing to play much opposition. I mean, considering they have about 2 or 3 factors and they can't all agree. So Labour Party is out of the question. It's PDP. And from the look of things, they too might have their own section, see between themselves as well. It lifts off standing with just the electorate from the look of things. What does the electorate hope to do in the next general elections? What is their choice? Or have we resigned our fate to what we have now? Join me this morning. Let's talk. Let's hear what you think this morning. We're live on YouTube. Drop your comments on High Voltage News. Please like, subscribe, and share. You can also call live into the studio to share your thoughts, contributions, and ideas with me on any of the stories this morning. 0706-048-5853. Also call 0915-570-8347. Remember to keep your comments clean, simple, and civil so that we don't break any rules while we're trying to do the right thing, okay? Also, remember to try to keep it as short as possible so that we can get around to all the stories, okay? All right, I think that's as good as it gets on the Daily Post this morning. Let's see if there's something that we can grab from the Sun newspaper this morning. It was quite interesting earlier when I looked, okay? So the first thing on the news with the Sun newspaper this morning is that the federal government have said that it has done nothing as regards its arrangement with ASU. Now, this is ASU complaining, right? ASU is saying, I don't know if you remember, some students, Nigerian university students at home almost 6 months. One of the most heartbreaking experiences for Nigerian students in this country. And that happened, and lots of arrangement and lots of thoughts went into the question, what do we do to fix this, right? The federal government and APSU went back and forth, back and forth. Threats were had, strikes were had, all kinds of things happened. And at the end of the day, they told us that they had agreed and that the federal government had agreed to pay all of their allocations and all of the things that they were asking for. But apparently, according to ASU this morning, no single issue has been resolved by the federal government. And between that time and now, do you know how much this country has spent on other miscellaneous expenses that needs to be handled in this country? Anyways, female genital mutilation has no health benefit, says Olufemi Tinubu. Also, today is the commemoration of the female genital mutilation day. Today is the day of awareness for female gender mutilation, right? So many people are still practicing it for whatever beliefs that they may have. Now, misinformation, lack of knowledge, and ignorance basically is some of the reasons why people still do things like this. I know a bunch of lawyers who are going on awareness for this, the Chandra solicitors, and a bunch of other people who are trying to take advantage of this and spread awareness. I'm wishing you all the very best, and also encouraging communities, religious groups, associations, NGOs, and the government, right, to also help with awareness and to provide relief for communities where this is still in practice, and try to teach them how to discontinue such practices in the future. All right, let's continue to review the news this morning. Autumn lauds Tinubu for approving North Central Development Commission. We also applaud him for approving the Southeast Development Commission as well, who is being headed by Senator Ojuzo Kalu. That particular appointment has also caused its level of beef on the internet, where Nigerians were also noting that the money whatever resources that the Southeast Development Commission is about to receive is about to go down the drain. Speculation, these are comments from Nigerians. Also, that the observers noted that Senator Ojuzo Kalu has most of his businesses in Lagos State and in Abuja, so they're wondering how he's going to connect all of that to his new appointment as the chairman of the Southeast Development Commission. Also, Gaius Chibueze, that's the Bitcoin chief, has also written an article to encourage Igbos, that is people living in the Southeast, to take advantage of the Southeast Development Commission created and approved by President Bola Tinubu. He made a lot of revelations about how Igbos, or maybe people in the Southeast, could jump on opportunities like this and not alienate ourselves from federal opportunities. He went into details about how this would help with entrepreneurs and people who are just starting out in business and trying to grow themselves in whatever adventures, even in agriculture. And this could help. It's easy for imports and exports without any duties, no taxes. Trust me, you might want to read up on the Southeast Development Commission approved by the president just earlier this week on Monday, right? It's a very important step. And businessmen, SMEs, and generally everybody in the Southeast has been encouraged by people who understand such institutions and policies. We've been asked to take advantage of this, as it is good for Southeast. All right, now you have seen where Governor Autumn is also appreciating the president for approving the North Central Development Commission as well. So people are going to key into this and try to use it to better themselves, their lives, their communities, and their businesses as well. You see? So these are some of the things we want to see. Betterment, right? So we would want to see what happens when the commissions start or begin their performances in full swing. We will want to see what the criterias are. We want to see how efficient they will be in terms of helping people to grow and develop in business. All right. So the Ministry of Police Affairs is to enhance officers' efficiency. We've heard this before as well. Good morning to you.
Memphis, good morning.
Greetings. Your name and location.
Justice, man.
You're welcome.
Maybe I don't have problem with establishing a commission.
Tell me.
Southeast.
Tell me.
I have a problem with the appointment of Ojus Okalu.
You are not the only one. Why do you have a problem with Ojus Okalu?
So each year in out, we churn out graduates upon graduates, some even master's degree holders that are riding Okada. Why should Ojus Okalu be the one? What is Ojus Okalu's qualification for being in that position now?
He has been supported.
What did he do?
Okay.
What achievement does Ojus Okalu have? As a senator presently, what is his achievement? I don't know how that appointment come to.
Actually, I'm thinking, what has he done? What I'm thinking,
what
really.
Has he done so spectacular?
I'm really thinking I was
giving more. What has this guy been doing?
But you know, he has been a very big, huge supporter of this administration. Supported the APC.
He's an ally of the president. He's one of the business partners of the president.
Business partners.
Yes, Odusoka is one of the business partners. They know themselves. It's not been the friendship has spanned for decades.
Right. Is that?
It has spanned for decades. So giving him that appointment is just man no man. You don't see anything coming out of
man
that
no man.
Nothing will come out of that appointment. I'm telling you, it is just the same.
But wait a minute. Wait a minute. What if he wants to rebrand himself? You know, someone like Peter Mba and Alex Oti, you know, there's a way the country is treating them. So most people are trying to see if they can, you know, get to that level of love from people. Do you think he might, you know, want to be different this time around?
Let it start from the present opposition he's occupying. He should start from there. He has a key position he's occupying as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let him start from there. Before you are giving him another position, what I don't see the criteria for giving him that position. There are many people, there are many vibrant youth who can handle that position, and they will do excellently well. Why Ojus Okalu? I don't. All the years he has been in governance, I don't see any good things coming out of him. He has been a senator for these 2 times now. Can Ojus Okalu relate his achievement? These people are just taking us for a ride. I told you I don't want to lament this year, and all these things are getting into my ear. It keeps coming into your ear.
But what do you want to do? Do you want to just the way you just spoke about this, don't you feel better just a little bit?
For me, if I should have my way,
yes.
Let them scrap that
the Southeast,
because nothing good will come out of it. With the person heading it.
That is what everybody is saying. That's the funny thing. Why is everybody saying that? You should see the comment sections on the Daily Post, on the Punch, everywhere this news was reported. The comment section kept, saying, people kept asking, why him?
This man is a businessman, and he knows more about profit.
So let them use the business. The way Enugu State Governor is trying to use his business acumen to turn Enugu into something. Can't they do that?
No, when you see someone who all his life has centered on reaping, What do you expect from that person? You don't expect from that person anything good thing. I tell you now, with the way Mba is going, you see, I've not been a lover of him from inception. But he endear you to his works endear you to his.
Oh yeah, it's clear.
I'm telling you. You see, he doesn't make so much noise.
I was skeptic of him. I was very skeptic of the governor, even before the elections. Even I was skeptic.
I was. You know, there was one program he came in, and I was opportune to call into that program.
Okay.
And I never expected anything from this man. There was no expectation, but you see him bringing surprises. Yeah. He's not even hearing anything. If you go into the villages, you see what this man is doing. And the noise is not all, except only few people like Ruben who goes about playing politics with it.
Oh, that's the sweet thing. The kinds of stories that are coming out from the governor, especially from people around him, is quite shocking for his person.
If I'm the man, those kind of people should not be in his cabinet. Those people should not be in his cabinet. They should allow him do his work.
Well, he seems to have a tight knit.
He's a gentleman. And I see him as someone who is so shy. He doesn't talk too much. So let them live in this appointment. I would advise the president to send back that bill to the House.
But just off the top of my head, before I let you go, do you have like someone in mind? Can you give me 3 names you would have thought would have made a better chairman of that commission?
I don't want to sell a candidate.
It's a nomination. It's a nomination. I don't want to
sell any candidate.
Okay, you don't want to say. But that's the point. Don't we have a choice to at least have an option of people who we think are good enough to take these positions?
Let them put it to vote.
Let them put it to vote.
We'll vote them. You see, we know the right people. If they put it to vote, we'll vote the right people.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Justice. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. You usually give insights that I actually enjoy, I like the way Justice kind of like comes with skepticism. I don't like the over relaxation that we put out as Nigerians. And I think it's one of our problems. We think to be too comfortable and we take everything to book. Justice brings that ideology that I like. The other side. Can we look at it from the other side? Can we check the gray areas? That's the point of this conversation. Good morning to you. Are you there?
Good morning. How are you?
Greetings. I'm doing just fine. Your name and location, please. You're welcome.
I'm really worried. I'm really worried this morning with the news I heard about the fire incident in Zamfara State.
Where, sir?
17 kids.
Yes, the pupils in Zamfara.
And that was a boarding school. Am I right?
It's an Islamic school. It's an Islamic school.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah?
It's an Islamic school.
In Plateau State. Yeah, Zamfara State. Am I right?
Yes, in Zamfara.
Yeah. I remember sometime I was running in Plateau State, and that was a Christian school. Almost 23 kids died. Quite kind of, some years back. There was a kind of incident that these kids were locked inside the hospital and was a break. Hell, the kid went away. There was no way of escape.
We saw that
problem in this, it's very easy to open hostel and bring people inside the hostel, and it's more demand in monitoring their safety, the security, their health, their feeding. These are things that should be put on ground. Particularly their safety and security, coupled with their health. These are the issues. Situation where fire outbreak will happen and there is no route of escape. If you look at what happened in the case in Zamfara State, you discover that even after the incident, it didn't even know the number of students left in the hostel. At any point in time, whether it is midnight, 2 a.m., 1 p.m., at any point in time, you should know the number of students have been in the hostel. You should know the number. In case of any problem, there should be a routine check. And trying to avert equally external influence by having adequate security. Common one to help. Their health should be paramount. That should be necessary just to avert any danger at all. Proactive measures, not just bringing people inside the system and put them in the hostel and everybody just go his way like that. It has become an issue in this country. Very big issue. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here with you.
Yeah, the issue of hostel accommodation is very demanding, very much demanding. And if you don't address this, we'll continue to hear this kind of thing on a regular basis. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you and God bless you too. Thank you. Thank you for calling our attention to that. Now, funny enough, Pastor Adeboye has also warned about these fire outbreaks. Though I am not one for prophecies and things like that, but I'm just saying, hasn't there been enough explosions and people dying from fire situations, at least from the beginning of 2025 up until now, that extra care should be put into it? Right? I'm thinking extra care should really be put into that situation and see if the fire department in Nigeria will need more upgrades. We've heard that their equipments are quite old and outdated. I believe it, because the monies in this country go to the things they are not necessarily supposed to be going into. So I'm thinking that it's time to give the Nigerian Fire Service Corporation an upgrade to help all of us. Fire outbreaks are not just for the poor. Rich people's homes catch fire too. I don't know if you people are aware. Let's take this call. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Greetings.
Yeah, you know, the tanker incident that happened in Enugu.
Apologies. Can you please give us your name and location,
Sorry,
please?
Toby Anaklet is calling from Maryland.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the tanker explosion that happened in Enugu happened weeks ago in Niger State.
Yes, that is true.
And then the federal government went for condolence and compensation. And the one in Enugu, I've not had anything from federal government.
No, they sent a press release, a press statement.
Oh, okay. So then, in the other hand, when you talk about the opposition and you mention PDP,
yes,
I laugh.
Why did you laugh?
The truth is that if I'm counting opposition parties now, I think I rather say let SDP spring up better.
Okay, I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Wait, did you skip Labour Party and NNPP?
Yes.
Did you skip all those people?
NNPP of Kwankwaso that doesn't know his left from his right. Today he wants to run as a president. Tomorrow he wants to support somebody. Is that the NNPP you want to look up to?
So what happens to us if we don't have an opposition party to check any government that is in
actually, if any other small party that are still united can spring up, because Labour Party now, APC have infiltrated Labour Party. That is how it is now. And PDP you are talking about, is it not this same PDP of Wike that is saying the nationals should endure for President Tinubu?
Oh yes, you saw that.
On the current hardship, and he's still in that PDP, and they cannot throw him out of that party.
I've been wondering, why can't the PDP let him go?
Article for us. The same article you have been presenting after Jonathan. And there's no result. You keep presenting the same person. Despite that they have some state governors, that doesn't make them an opposition. Okay, look at Ned Moko now. Because of the internal crisis, he has left PDP.
Of course, to
APC.
APC.
What is remaining in PDP? What are they going to challenge with? So PDP is not even an opposition. APC now is the largest political party in Africa, in West Africa at least.
Of course. Wow.
So there's no hope from PDP.
No hope from PDP. Wow. So you don't think they can resolve these issues on any time? You don't think so?
Resolve which issue? Samuel Anyang is not agreeing that to step down for Ume.
I hear you.
So issue of PDP's issue, like it will lead them to termination the way I'm looking at it.
There's a lot to unfold before 2027, you know that, right?
Exactly.
We'll see what happens. We'll see.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
I appreciate. Have a nice day ahead.
You too.
Funny story, like it or not. Turns out Atiku is making a reappearance in 2027. He's not going anywhere. He is going to campaign and he's going to win the primaries and he will be on the ballot box in 2027 once again. All right, because the PDP is gearing towards giving him the ticket for 2027, at least from the look of things, right? But we will see how that unfolds, right? Quickly before I go, let's check out our investigator stories, okay? All right, I can still take some calls. We have about 7 minutes before the show is over this morning, so you can still call in 0706 048 5853. You can also call 0915 570 8347. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Greetings to you.
Yes, I'm Moses Okuri. I'm calling from Italy.
You're welcome.
Yes. I want to talk on issue of Southeast Development Commission and appointment of Audio Wakalo.
That's right.
I think this has shown, when this Southeast Development Commission, they are trying to set it, or they are making the moves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one person who is not all that excited, though it's good.
Okay.
But I'm not all that excited. Why? Because I know it will still go the way of Nigerian things. How do you mean? With the appointment, every business or every organization, what will show you whether they are serious about it or not is the leadership.
Okay.
Because the leadership is the face of the destiny, is the one to determine whether the thing will move forward or backward. And by appointing Audio Wakalo by all standards,
okay,
it proves that it's dead on arrival.
Wow.
Because Audio Wakalo as a person has not done anything good.
Wow.
The only good thing you can mention about him as far as governance is concerned is only winning Champions League for Enyimba. That is the only thing as a governor of Abia State. But in terms of development, in terms of any other thing, there is nothing. And we should remember that Audio Wakalo, that he was committed to prison. He's supposed to be languishing in jail by now. But because of Nigerian nature, they brought him out. And now he's a senator. Yeah. And he who is a senator, the entire Igbo land, where we have people like Professor Bat and Naji, we have too many other people who has proved themselves. In short, in this country, despite our bad record, Igbo land still have credible people by all standards, both men and women. They did not found any of these people who has not have such case of person prison. Yes. They could not found any other person at all, except the man who is enjoying his senatorial seat. Now he's being handed such position. So, and by all standards, his record, he has a very dirty record, and but he is also. It shows that there are not. That is, it's even going to be worse than Niger Delta Commission, because I'm telling you, I'll bet you, it will be worse than that. So it's quite disheartening. It's quite. In short, I just feel like crying, but what will I do?
Please do not cry. Thank you so much.
So it's too bad. Then let me just comment on that of our Ebonyi State.
Real quickly. Yes.
Yes, the governor telling the people not to retaliate. You see the kind of leaders we have here. The Onwifu is trying in some aspects. But I don't know where our problem is. I don't know. Whenever this issue of Fulani herdsmen or whatever, their menace comes up, everybody becomes I don't know whether there is something. See, our leaders, for example, here in Enugu, you know that there have been this law of banning of open grazing.
Open grazing, yes.
Despite the strength and the capacity of our governor and the way they do things, but they will do nothing. They will do nothing. Even in front of government house, Nama will be moving left, right, and center. So telling the people you are not ready to protect them, and you are not ready to, you are telling them to lose themselves the more, so that they will be killed the more. I think we will think twice. We should think twice here. Is it weakness? Is it fear? Is it other arrangement that we do not know? It's very, very bad. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moses, for calling in this morning. I really appreciate it. I don't have a lot of time anymore, but remember, High Voltage comes to you every weekday, Mondays through Fridays, 9 a.m. till 10, where we're reviewing Nigeria's situation. It doesn't matter how. Once it's topical and it's social and it's political, we are dealing with it here. I'm going to bring an analyst tomorrow morning, right? Let's talk about the Southeast Development Commission, and also let's talk about the revelations of the USID that I told you about David Hundeyin made, where he talked about the USID's illegal activities like money laundering, terrorism sponsoring, and how they removed former President Jonathan in 2015, fake HIV and AIDS support programs, etc. Listen, this document contains all kinds of things, and it has opened a can of cankerworms with so many people reacting, you have no idea. Now, tomorrow, we're going to look at those specifically. We'll give them a little time and try to understand it from an analyst's point of view. All right, I'll let you go this morning so that I can go do other things too. But while you're out there, try to have a good day. And remember to be kind to yourself. That way, you will have enough to share with the people around you. All right, have a good day. My name is Mavis Atudumi. Good morning.